What's good, everybody? You rocking with your boy Czarr, all rights reserved. If you didn't know, now you know. Um, to start off, the first thing I'm going to say is that we're getting massive amounts of receipts behind the scenes on stuff I can't address. Dealing with the trial, I still got to check on the outcome or check and double check before I say anything about the trial itself. I do want to say he was going there to request it. It's going to be whether it was accepted or denied and what was the contents of them doing it and why they did it. Um, I also want to go into detail and say that I've received some ominous receipts from people co-signing certain situations. Um, as we're getting started off the rip, go ahead, Queen, give your information and let them know that contacting you about the consultation fee.
Indeed. So everyone can follow me at Queen Prodigy on YouTube and Twitter. Also hit me up for personal readings on Instagram at Queen Prodigy 0369. As far as consultation goes, I'm doing my best to be fair and charge about 40 for 30 minutes. And I can give you payment arrangements and how to go about getting that process done over the phone once you inbox me. So I appreciate all the love and support.
It's all about the business. So support her business, respect the business that's being done. The same way you want us to respect your craft and different things you're doing. We want people to show this synonymous factor across the board because that's just respectable. Now, off the rip, I had a conversation with a guy behind the scenes that did not disclose a name or any information. There was a pending issue, and it was with the use of his social media platforms being used for inappropriate reasoning that was not by him that he built up. Are you aware of anything dealing with this, Queen?
I just a quick question, just for clarifications, because there's a couple of things that I might have heard, but I was wondering if it had anything to do with the SCA manager using that platform.
Okay. Someone's saying something very crazy right now. I gotta ask them if they have proof. I can't say that. I believe it. I presume I know what they're talking about, but I'm gonna ask you to see if you say the right name, because if you say the right name and you have proof, this is gonna get crazy fast. Dang. Anyways, and they were using his social media and he said something. Now, I was informed that he allegedly told him that he wanted him beat up, but nothing happened. And he said he was going to do it himself when he came out. Does this sound like something Tentacion would be affluent of? Because I believe that he said, okay, they said they're going to send me something. So we'll see. I, from to my knowledge, know that this was addressed while he was in prison, when it was going on. But the trouble part about it was that he told this person he was going to beat them up. We didn't see any activity dealing with this. So, you know.
Is this related to, I guess you can say, adult entertainment in any kind of a way?
When you say adult entertainment, in what form? I know this person.
I mean, there's only one real way that that there's like something labeled as adult entertainment, like, you know, people getting busy and whatnot.
No, not exactly. It has to do with someone using it to promote music.
I think I might know what you're talking about. Are you speaking about like basically another artist?
Right.
Got it.
And it's very synonymous with a recent comment they made publicly where they were trying to take the fans and they were trying to take the fans and do in a certain way to barter assistance, that they were still doing those type of things, but it was only affluent to them looking for assistance and what they were trying to do on the backside. So they wanted to promote their music. And there was another person unnamed that they were promoting for, but they were using his platforms. And we've seen synonymous factors of his platforms and everything being used in a way that we don't think it should have been. That's part of the issue.
Right.
And to my knowledge, everything was starting to tumble down on itself as we were examining the fact that he wanted to have a physical altercation because this person was doing it against his will. And my thoughts are, if this is the case and if they were violating like this, do you believe this led to a long ongoing beef?
I mean, it could have been a situation, especially if permission wasn't given. I would presume, because everyone's business, they're entitled to their own thing, like as far as like how they conduct their business, or if people are just trying to use situations for clout. But also, was it actually talked about? Like, I'm assuming, who has access to that in the first place to allow that person to do that? Does that make sense?
Yes. Like if someone was in his house doing it. I mean, it would have been harder. And breaking news, I'm gonna just throw this out. Somebody is telling me they have proof that not only was there foul play, but someone else was dipping their hand in the pot of his women. Allegedly, they're telling me they can prove that they were getting dug out by somebody else.
I'm sorry, is this someone recently that he's been involved with?
They're telling me they have proof before he was deceased that someone was digging someone out. And they're trying to, and I told them to prove it.
Well, that's going to be interesting.
That's going to explain everything with the theory I'm thinking. I need proof to prove it, though. You got to prove it to me. I already have everything else around it, but the proof that this actually happened. I'm going to have proof this person was actually doing stuff with them before he passed.
So it was stated that, I believe on the 28th, I'm assuming you said that you can't really talk too much about what's happening with Boatwright. But funny enough, I happened to come across something that someone sent to me earlier today. And it happened to be referring to, to the statements that he was attempting to attain for his case. And funny enough, it looked like that he actually put that motion in sometime, according to a video, don't know if it's true or not, allegedly, put in a motion to have that information back in July.
Okay. I'm trying to get them to prove it. It's two people, and I happen to know both of them, and I've had conversations with both of them. They're telling me the other has confirmed it, and I'm checking with the other if they said that, because that would be alarming to me. And that would be the icing on the cake. If this was actually going on and this person was dogging out this girl, oh my goodness.
Oh God, you've already seen it?
He's confirming this other guy. They're both confirming each other. I'm not letting them slide without the evidence. You have to show me the evidence other than what I already have. It can't be the same evidence. I know, but I still need the evidence. I know. I can't bypass the evidence. I'm sorry. It's not how it works here. You got to show me something. You're going to have to show me. Listen, if you guys are going to come to me, even if I think it's true, even if I'm like, well, I can prove it from my part, I need to see what evidence you're looking at to prove that point. I need proof. I can't take anything else. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's a 5,000 subscriber goal we have. I'm working on sponsorships. I have sponsors in the turn of events. Hit the like button, subscribe, push the channel, share the live. Let's get it rocking.
So it looks like, as far as what Peaceful Journey says, is his previous attorney requested the motion to compel months ago, is what's being stated in the comments. And also, Bree has said, no way will Boatwright be the snitch of all this, basically. Like, you know, questioning whether if he's trying to display his innocence, and just to kind of back on certain things that I've seen on the internet. When he was initially arrested, I believe a cousin of his was speaking out on the Shade Room on an article and left a comment and said that basically that he was innocent, as well as looking at a video of Dedrick Williams stating that his brother was claiming his innocence too, as well. So I don't know why, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Wow. No. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm starting to see that those are the main two that seem to be fighting this situation, and the other two seem to be pretty quiet, you know?
Yes. Grab a drink movement. Grab a drink. Everybody grab a drink movement. I'm about to grab a drink. I'm sorry, you got to show me the proof of this. I'm sorry. I got to see this proof. I'm sorry, I don't rock that way. There is currently, allegedly, a man attempting to claim fatherhood in this scenario. He's attempting to say that he is the one that is the father. Now, I don't know if this is true. I'm not playing games with nobody. I'm not giving shouts out to channels, and it's wrong. I'm not giving shouts out to channels. I'm going to double check this channel, this information, and we'll do it. But allegedly, another YouTuber has already broken this story that some other person is a father, and I'm going to check it out, this channel. I never heard of this channel before, and I don't see his name readily searchable. I need the link. Hold on. They're going to have to send me the link. I don't see this person's channel. That's why I don't
Someone is stating that that it's X's cousin that's saying he's the father. I don't know. I'm assuming they must have watched this. I'm not too sure. But that's what's being allegedly stated in the comments.
Yes. I know. I'm just I gotta match that up with the cousin. And first I gotta confirm it is a cousin. But yes, someone else is stating that they are the father. I don't know if it's a cousin though. There's no proof. And again, if there's no proof, I'm not confirming it. I'm telling them to show me proof. If all of this is happening, if something like this was happening, I'd present it with proof to you. But they're not just going to say it. I want to validate these things. That's not how this works here. They're newer, so I don't think they understand that. That's the thing, you know. They're trying to okay. The first confirmation of someone trying to tell the truth has been sent. And I'm going to see if it makes sense. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Listen. I still gotta confirm this. I can't run with this narrative. I gotta ask because listen, I'm not running like that with these stories. It needs to be confirmed that that's the case. Because here's the thing. This type of stuff is no joke. When you're playing with this, and
what?
There was.
It has to be confirmed, you said?
Yes.
I know. Someone told me I'll show you. Czarr, I will show you, literally.
Okay. I'm saying though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
I can't play with it like that. Cleo's not play about this type of stuff.
I know.
So, you know, I'm going to her to confirm it. And if she confirms it, she confirms it. But I can tell you, if she did that, she messed with the wrong woman to play that game. If allegedly that's true. That better be. Because she came up off of Cleo.
Genesis?
Yes. Cleo is why, if she's watching, Cleo's why you're a star. She is. And X. True. If you played with her emotions in any type of way, shape, or fashion, she is not going to play. So I'm waiting for her to confirm and let me know whether a test was done or not, whether someone's making something up. Mm-hmm. But I sent her that YouTube in the video because I got to make sure that's not copy and paste or Photoshop, because that conversation was crazy.
Can you send the link? Because I'm curious about that video.
Yeah, it'll be off of Instagram. I'm gonna send it to you. I don't know. I mean, what I'll do is I'll put it out, and only 1,800 people have seen this. That's not a lot to be what this is saying. That's crazy.
I haven't seen that one yet, to be honest. I haven't seen the one with the lipstick part yet. About Genesis playing lipstick at X's girl. I haven't seen that one yet.
That's freaking crazy.
All I know is at the end of the day is this. Like I said, pray for Yumi. I'm sorry. What?
Hey, your Wi-Fi is skipping again.
Yeah.
You sound like you're RoboCop.
Someone.
Nope.
So
I'll read it to you.
Okay.
But anyway, do everything that y'all can to just pray on the whole situation and for his family and for just for the sanity of everybody involved, even
Sure.
Yumi, Mama, everybody, because this is
Yumi, same thing.
Their personal life. This is their personal life.
Yeah, and here's my thing. If this Clout9 guy is exposing it and he's copy and pasting, this is not good. Because listen, I can confirm that being the account, because I hit her up before without a response, but I can't confirm that conversation happened. And again, me and Cleo talk. Cleo, even if that's the case, I think I have something that will brighten your day. I have something that will brighten your day and brighten it for a lifetime. So don't worry about it, because I've been talking to someone behind the scenes as well.
Sure.
Hey, you got to fix your Wi-Fi. I don't know. It sounds like you're using a Nintendo.
Congratulations to Jesse. Most what was it? Buckle up, because most streamed SoundCloud song, and Nintendo or something.
Okay, hold on. Someone's telling me it's fake because Jen doesn't have an IG.
All right, I'm going here. Jen does not have IG.
So how is he?
She doesn't.
So how is he texting her on the IG and that's a real conversation?
Jen does not have IG.
So
what?
So the guy you were speaking to, that's fake. Let him know. I have another guy. See, that's why I don't accept what people say. I have different people. I check through it. They run through it, and they run it through different systems.
Right there.
I can say
Really?
she doesn't have. Yes, I can say she doesn't have one now. I do know she did because I tried to hit her up, but that was like a month and a half ago. That wasn't recently. She doesn't have an IG, and that's why I don't put things out. That's why I send these people's YouTube to be analyzed off of what they're putting out. Because the fact he put that out there, she's liable to sue that guy because he used it as his intellectual property, exposing her. You can't play with exposure that way. That's why here we do it special. That's why it's respected. We don't do it that way because he's making an accusation. If he's tailoring that, he's making an accusation on an argument that never occurred between an alleged real person and a probable fake person. If he's using another real person, then they could both sue him. So he's painting a narrative that's not there, regardless of what the information is that comes out. So that's the reason why
I said everybody just needs to just stay focused on putting positive energy towards the child and his family in general, because there's just so much, forgive my language, but foolery. I was going to say another word, but so much foolery going on with people making up so much nonsense, and how, it's like these people still need to process what they're dealing with, from losing someone.
Cleo,
so it's just about being respectful of that.
Cleo, check what I sent you. There's a YouTuber that has built semi-wealthy views and things off of sending something out there on YouTube. March 7th is the date of the receipt, and it's been out there and it hasn't gained the traction I presume they were aiming for, but no looked at. So check it out, Cleo. I sent it to you. That's unacceptable. That's why I don't send it out. That's why I didn't conclude anything. Again, I had a guy I was going to run it by for them to check it. And we have someone else that's joining us. 1 second. That's the thing. I always send something by people who can credibly look at it and say, well, that isn't her name, or she doesn't have that. Because if I run with those narratives, I'm doing injustice to my audience. Because if that's not true, if there wasn't a DNA test, there wasn't a DNA test. And I don't want people playing with it like they know, oh, this is fact and stuff. And it's not like that. We can't do that here. I wouldn't even risk my integrity on it until I have proof. That's why when someone shows something, I say, show me proof. For instance, like when people were telling me, oh, no, The reason I stuck to the Victor and the fake witness thing when I had it was because I had got sent blatant stuff about the situation. Not only that, I have agents that I work for that have intel knowledge that showed me a genealogy and showed me connections.
Right.
So that was part of why I went for that angle and I spoke on it. And then I checked out the news anchor. I checked her out and I found an interesting background on her. Very interesting. But other than that, the next thing I turn around, I'm seeing that she's on a video set of another famous rapper. And I'm like, is she a video vixen? Make one so I can invite you. Listen, if I'm inviting you on the show, you got to make a Skype name and account, and then I can invite you.
I know, you know, fix my connection. Yeah.
So, you know, I move a certain way for a reason.
Czarr, I'm already here.
What happened?
Can't even hear Czarr.
You can't hear me?
Call and join back.
Yeah, you gotta, get your thing fixed. We're good though. We're moving good. So, Queen, what is your thoughts on the Victor angle as far as like Victor and the news anchor?
I mean, honestly, there's not much that I know of it, but it's kind of strange. I mean, so for one, you're saying that this news anchor, was she in a music video or something?
Yeah, she was in actually 6ix9ine's music video last time I looked.
Interesting.
Yes, very interesting.
Hold on. As far as like anything that's going on with the whole Victor thing, again, I don't know. I'm not too sure. Like, I feel like I heard him speak one good time, but it's been months since I've really, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really analyzed that whole situation. But it's kind of sketchy to me, just the way that people moving nowadays. And I just don't understand. Like, everybody just wants answers. They just want to get justice for him. And that's the only reason why we've been pushed to continue this platform, because, you know, it's not about just the gossip and the nonsense. It's about people that actually care, that actually, you know, really sincerely care about trying to get him some peace.
I have number 15 joining in right now for you, Queen. Wait, Queen, your mic, it's muted.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm here.
No. I thought you were talking. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Is number 15 here?
It looks like somebody's typing.
Yeah. Not joining now? I swear.
I was ready. I'm like ready for this, like waiting. Because I heard a lot of crazy stuff about me. So I really want to know what this person knows about me. So I'm ready.
Okay. Yeah, I know you guys had a conversation.
Somewhat of a conversation, but not really. So I'm hoping that that person can actually join, because I'm ready. I'm always ready, I guess. I'm always ready.
What?
Okay, I'm looking at the picture you sent me.
I won't even talk. I swear to God. I'm trying to get him to answer and he won't. He only answers in chat. I swear to God.
Okay, that's still hearsay, though. I read the picture you sent, Jordan. That's still hearsay because he didn't give a blatant for sure, knowing it is, and just that type of information. And when number 15?
You.
Is that you?
Right.
Wait, wait, Jordan. 15, you could talk. We were waiting for you to speak.
I'm here. Okay.
Okay. Are you a woman?
Yes. Wait.
Okay.
Wait, is my voice so deep?
No. I was just making sure, so because it wasn't a child. Because if you were a kid, I couldn't have you on here. I'm just okay. You said you're 21?
23.
23. Okay. Where are you from?
Florida.
Okay, you're from Florida. All right. So, what is it in your mind and your thoughts that you wanted us to know up front, just out there? Nothing specific.
About like acts and stuff.
Yeah, about that situation.
Oh. Jen was exposed, saying it was some guy by the name of Iron Kosher exposed her. The baby isn't X's, it's actually his baby, and he's mad about it.
But what proof do you have?
Hold on. My friend. Hold on.
I seen what you sent me, and I had another guy double check that out, and that does not fit any standard of her identity, let alone her having an IG. Now I'm gonna say this: I am cool and in tune with her fan sites, because they promote it for me, so I don't have. They would have told me if that was the case. They would have let me know something like that very early. And they've never told me, and I sent it to them. They're analyzing it, but they know nothing of it because they actually have contact with these people, and that threw her off. She's like, "Where does this come from?" Hey, whoever has the noise in the background, mute yourself. We're running a show.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Just tell them to keep it down. Tell them to calm it down. My thing is, I get where you're coming from, but if you had the proof solidly, I wouldn't argue. But I can't.
I didn't even do anything, you bitch.
Wait. All right, you got to mute yourself. I'm trying not to mute you. I can mute you, but I'm trying to give you a chance to talk. So they're going to have to fall back.
What actually happened? What do you think? What did allegedly happen?
What do you mean? About what happened? Jordan, what do you mean?
Hello, I'm sorry, I'm here.
Yeah, I know, but Jordan, what do you mean?
Like allegedly happened. You know what I mean?
I can't hear.
Are you asking me what do you think happened?
Yeah. Yes.
As far as what, like dealing with Genesis, dealing with like what? I'm not understanding what you're asking. What happened about what subject? Okay, I guess his Wi-Fi is dancing around. Queen?
Yeah, so let me put this out here really quick. So whenever we do this show, because I know everybody, for the most part, y'all are kind of new to this. So what I do is, like, when Czarr wants to ask a question or if somebody has something to say, I mute myself so there's no other noise or anything that's interfering, so that way everybody can, like, equally speak and talk. But as I stated before, the way that I feel, I'm like, this is anything pertaining to that situation, that's an innocent child. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why, no matter what it turns out to be, whatever it is, it's like, just protect the child, because that child has nothing, you know what I'm saying, to do with all this crazy drama that's happening on social media. That child doesn't deserve that.
He doesn't. I feel bad for the kid.
Okay, real quick, I'm gonna put it out there. 15. Did you had something you wanted to say to Queen? And because you made some comments, so I was allowing you to back up your comments on what you were trying to say to her.
Oh, Queen?
Yes.
I don't really. Oh, about the baby. I feel bad for the kid though. I feel bad for him. Like, oh my God, he's gonna grow up, because since people think he's executed homeschool, but I'm afraid the kid's gonna get killed or beat up or anything like that. Or people are going to cut out.
Jordan, they're talking. You can't butt in. Let her talk. Go ahead. Finish 15.
I'm afraid that people in public are going to say, hey, your dad was a woman beater. People are going to, like, you know, vandalize the house. You know, since they're vandalizing X's memorial, they're going to vandalize his house and stuff like that. I'm afraid they're going to make fun of the kid. I don't want the kid to go through that. Like, oh my God, that poor kid. She's using that baby for clout.
But you're running the narrative like you notice for a fact when you don't have solid proof to prove this. We looked at, I can't just go off of Cloud9. Cloud9 could be a 12-year-old that just learned to use different instruments to post in a thing. You still sending me this and saying this sounds good and it looks legit, but I can tell you that that wasn't the username I seen when I was dealing with her.
Damn.
So
I got confused too.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I am well aware of people behind the scenes, and that's not a legit username where you can go off into a narrative where you can feel some type of way off of something that's not proven.
True. I just see what I hear. I just hear what I see and I fall for it.
Well, I mean, that would be your decision, but trust me, I've been doing this media thing a long time. I've been in and out and part of many different medias, moguls that are still going today. They're well aware of who I am. I work with them, up and coming people, and I'm well aware to this stuff. That's why I don't play around with it. If you saw me address a subject, I knew for a fact that's what it was, and some to the point where I can't say that much because I've been asked not to by certain people. So I have to play it a certain way. So that's part of what I'm saying. Like, that's why I don't play with it. Now, I've noticed you made several comments inside the YouTube algorithm we have going here to different people. Did you want to back any one of those comments?
Hello?
Yes. Jordan, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know whether you're eating. I don't know whether you're licking something, but you got to fall back for a second. 15. You made certain comments inside of the post. What's up, Chris? And these comments, the way it's worked, you've caused issue with certain people. Do you have anything you want to discuss to back it up right now?
Issues?
Well, you made comments talking about different things. Do you remember when you comment?
Do I remember what I...
Are you aware of what you comment in comments when you're talking about things?
Yes.
Okay. You placed some criticism on Queen's ability. Am I correct?
I did? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, what do you mean? I'm just reading what you're posting.
I'm confused.
I'm
confused.
Really quick. So basically, in the comments, it was stating that, or I'm assuming you were stating that basically I was fake or whatever. And I know that that has been a rumor that's been kind of going on, and people have their reserved feelings about me. But at the same time, too, I make sure to allow. If you go on my page, I put posts up there whenever I am promoting readings and allowing people to try me out. The only reason why I've allowed myself to be so open is because I knew that a situation of my character and my legitimacy would be tested. So I wanted to make sure that I'm talking to a variety of different people. Even Chris A is in the building. Like, he is like one of the people that, I mean, I stayed on the phone with him for hours telling him about different situations, and I didn't charge extra. I didn't do nothing like that. I was just like giving him a peace of mind and closure for people that have, passed or, certain situations that he was dealing with. Trina is also up in here saying I'm the truth. Like, I these people don't tell me nothing about their lives, nothing at all. All I ask is for their name and their.
Oh my God, I'm so dumb. I'm sorry.
Queen, you went out.
It's all good. And thank you, Maya. And thank you, Maya, too. Maya in the building as well. Like I said, I make sure that I'm, I want people to try me. Like, I want people to come and test me out. I'm not going to be 100% accurate. I'm not going to know what color shirt he was wearing or what's, you know what I'm saying? Like the most ridiculous, redundant things. No, that's not how it works. It's about energy. It's about picking up on energy, picking up on what the guides have to say to me at the end of the day. And it's usually on point, period. So if somebody's like not happy with it or whatever it is that I'm doing, then I tell them to come talk to me, come try me out. Cause I'm not afraid. I'm not intimidated by anybody. I probably should be, but I don't know why. I'm just not.
I did, yeah, but every time I try to message you, you don't message back. I mean, you take 100 years to message back.
Yeah, because my inbox is like blowing up, and forgive me, but there's like a lot of people who are constantly hitting me up, and I'm not even gonna front. I have another gig. Like, I don't do readings 24 hours a day. Like, I have a whole nother business that I run under my name, my own company, doing my own thing, and I'm usually putting in most of my time into that business because that's where the majority of my income is basically coming in for at this point, until it switches to where I get readings back to back, and that's all I'm doing all day, every day. Yeah, absolutely. But sometimes I can't respond just as quickly, but I do get back. I do get back to people. It just might take me a few days.
Can you say something? Oh, wait, hold on. Let's go back to X. I'm sorry about that.
Go back to X, all right?
Let's go back to X. I don't know that a fan told me that Jen was sleeping with somebody while away with X. Well, when she was not with X.
I mean, here's my thing about that. You're saying a friend told you.
No, a fan, X fan.
But how do they know? What is their proof? Let me explain something when we say receipts, okay? I had a guy named Josh on here a couple weeks ago with receipts that he paid for something he didn't get. He not only had the people's names and the receipts that he paid, but he had the full conversation between him and the superstar. You can't dodge it. He had the full conversation. That's a receipt. It wasn't a receipt of him saying, yeah, he verbally told me to do it and I just handed him the money. No, he had receipts showing he paid it, the date he paid it, and he had the names of the people he paid it to. So when I'm saying receipts, I'm not talking about hearsay. That's hearsay.
Czarr, can we talk about something?
What is it you would like to address?
I would like to address somebody basically stole a painting out of Joss's mausoleum, allegedly, I think.
Okay. And a painting of
him.
And when was this?
This year.
Well, I comprehend that, but when was this and why wasn't it known?
I don't think Miss Cleo didn't know about it.
Well, here's the thing. I'm cool enough to chat with her. I'll ask her about that. I have no knowledge on that. I'll ask her myself, and it is what it is. If she says it didn't happen, it didn't happen, because she's there more than anyone. But other than that occurring there, another thing I wanted to address, 15, I can understand that you're trying to prove a point in things, but that's why in comments I tell people to comment on the subject and not other people, because when you're analyzing a person, you're defining them. So when you say someone's maybe fake or something and they're really real, or something's not happening, it really did, you can't step back from that. It's almost it's putting your credibility on the line to do something. But you know, that's why we go subject by subject, and I went layer by layer. And there's conversations I have with people that I don't even talk about. So that's why I've built myself to a certain level to address it. Now, I just want to swiftly ask Jordan. I had asked you a question. I don't remember you answering. Did you know Victor?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know Victor.
Okay. So did you go to school with him?
No.
So you didn't go to school with Victor. You do know of him. Do you know
Yeah.
do you know the girl Panama?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm asking this. Why have Panama and Victor become so quiet?
I'm gonna be honest. Because they're might be scared to talk about the situation.
What are they fearing? What are they scared of? I don't comprehend. What are you like? Look around at everyone. I presume Victor and Panama are connected in some way in life to have people that care. What are they fearing?
I think they fear energy. Like they fear something that like you can't like. They're scared of like reality or something like that, or the facts that you prove. To be honest.
Well, here's my thing. They're not part of the case. So why are they
Right.
what are they scared about? They can't double back and say, oh, you know, you guys may have known. Like, it won't work that way. They found their 4 suspects. Their suspects are leading them to some type of situation where interrogation is going to occur. Why would the people who did the news story and put it up be scared?
Interesting. You would say that. Their credibility, probably.
Well, hold on, hold on, real quick. Panama. Here's what the problem is. As we're doing this live speaking, she destroyed her own credibility purposely. I continually gave her a chance to speak, and every word out of her mouth was a curse word, or it was just disrespect.
Wow. And that's being disrespectful to X, and it's also being disrespectful to his family.
Anonymous thing. It's not something that I could look at one way or the other. It was her overall demeanor. I can't.
Demeanor itself by demeanor, you know, and her attentions, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
You see where I'm coming from, basically.
what happened?
I said you see where I'm coming from. You understand now, because like her intentions, what she decided to do, or said curse words, and then decided not to listen to you, and then she just went about it her own way.
She did too much. I didn't even. Here's the thing. I'm gonna admit I probably taunted her, but I didn't disrespect her. There's a clear difference. There's a difference between taunting her and disrespecting her. I may have said, why would someone say that they did something when they didn't really do it? Queen, can you back me up? What are your thoughts pertaining to this? Oh, you got to turn yourself down, Ray. On the thing, you got to turn it down and mute the YouTube. Turn the sound off. Queen, what is your thoughts about this? And then I want to ask Chris what he thinks. Queen, if you're there, what are your thoughts?
Make sure to, pertaining to the whole situation with Panama.
Yes, in the Victor angle, which he produced, saying their credibility.
I mean, it's always been kind of interesting. I would assume that on some level, as far as referring to Panama, that she clearly knew him, right? She, you know, was around to some extent.
Right.
And so I'm not too sure, like, specifically. I guess the only thing that I have a concern about is just the rejoicing, of the whole situation going down, basically. That's the only issue that I have, I guess, with her, is trying to understand what does she mean by that. Because I don't like to jump to conclusions and just think, why would anybody be, so happy that something like that would happen?
Right.
But at the same time, too, when it comes down to the whole, witness ID situation, it just seems like things weren't necessarily adding up because the footage seems to show something completely different.
With that said, from the psychological standpoint, Queen, what do you have insightfully that you see with the situation and the fact of there being another entity in preference? As far as, hold on, whoever's that is, everybody mute when someone else is being addressed, please. That background noise. Thank you. But Queen, as psychic, so being that energy, do you find there being some type of situation being involved with that?
Can you specify a little bit more regarding what exactly? Regarding who?
I'm sorry. Yo, Ray, you got to get that together. I can't have you on there. I don't know if you're making beats and stuff, but
yeah, I think
no, I'll ask now. So what's going on with the situation? Like, what do you feel when we're examining it from the perspective we are? Like,
I mean, honestly, the way that I feel, it's like there's a lot of there's just, for one, it's like the only thing that I see is like a big gray cloud, obviously. But the only reason why I say that is because it's like as soon as we try to clear certain things up and try to get some sort of justification on a situation, then it gets clouded with nonsense and deceiving facts. Everybody's always being tested when it comes down to his situation, but we're talking about someone who was very affluential on the community and music in general, and even his own culture. So I just wish that people would have a little bit more respect when they're coming out with information, because people are taking everything that they say to heart. So it's either one of two things: either people are lying, and they're just saying things to bypass certain things so that people don't, can have something to grasp onto or to listen to for the time being. But it's still a manipulative situation because Czarr considered his fans as his cult, his family. So it's important to be careful with that, because they're
Queen,
or saying all of these.
Okay,
these
you're
things
back.
become revealed for.
You're going in and out.
When.
Queen, you're going in and out, Queen. We can't hear you.
Oh. Let me see if I can.
Okay.
So, Chris, what is your thoughts about that?
What up, everyone? Can you ask that again, John?
Yeah. What's the deal with the Victor and the Panama situation where they've gone quiet, and it's presumed that it could be for credibility issues, just whatever issue, in order to preserve their character in the situation. But we've already seen publicly in comments the relentless disrespect that Panama has had for the entire situation, let alone even to a point behind the scenes. She said to me she loved that. She said we loved that day. So that gets a bit deeper. What are your thoughts about them being quiet? Chris, we can't hear you.
He said since all that clout that they were chasing. That's what he said.
Oh,
What was
okay.
that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yo.
yeah, I'm here.
So stick that tail between the legs and run and hide now for cover after all that backlash. You know what? You know they're full of shit. You know, and that's just what it is. Both of them.
They're full of shit. They shouldn't stop.
I concur to what he was saying. That's what I was trying to say. So thank you for saying that, Chris. Thank you.
Same.
Always, Queen.
They're full of crapola, to be honest.
So okay. Ray, what are your thoughts?
My fault. Can you restate the question one more time?
What are your thoughts on the fact that Victor and Panama have backed out how they have, and they're really not talking about the situation? They're quiet. They're kind of hiding, like they're in some type of witness protection group. Last time I checked with them, they were saying that they how do I put it? They weren't. Wait, hold on. Ray speaking. Victor, they were telling me that Victor was saying he wasn't there. Now, my issue with that was a full-on contradiction. That's a contradiction. He said it live, we recorded it, but that's a contradiction to the entire situation.
Honestly, I thought a lot. I think a lot of these people were just doing a lot of it. Like they really tried to go big off of his death. You know what I mean? Like I remember even in on the live chat. You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember on the interview, he was saying something along the lines of like, "Oh, whoever took that picture that you see on the shade room, I took that. I took that." Like, and then also you got to think too, like with these guys is like, what's the mentality of them? Like they could be young. Like Queen said, like X's fans go hard, but it's just I don't know. And then it's the girl, what's her name? Like out of nowhere, she just got casted for a music video. Like something, a lot of it just doesn't sound right to me. And I guess them going quiet. I guess I get what I really think is that all of that cut that they were getting started to bite them in the ass. That's what I believe.
Interesting.
That's why I think.
Well, hey, you can't show things on this mirror. I had to kick. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ray. I had to kick him out. It was glitching the Skype. He was trying to show a picture.
Yeah, I don't know. Who's that, Jordan?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We can't hear you, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
No. I'm sorry, Ray. Sorry, Ray. Go ahead. Jordan was the one that did the video, but no, it's you, Ray.
I saw somebody on the screen. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, exactly. Go ahead.
But yeah, like I said, like I think a lot of the attention seeking eventually bit them in the ass. Like people are probably DM them, just hitting them in the DM saying like, yo, like, how do you know so much? Like, why do you know so much? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, everybody just wants justice for somebody that they were inspired by or are a fan of. I feel like even earlier in the conversation with the person saying like, oh, Genesis said this, like that photo said fake all over it. Like, why would Genesis have, out of all pictures, she's gonna use the one out of the interview? Come on, now that doesn't even make any sense. I feel like everybody is just anxious for answers and they want to just make up these theories and all this other stuff. And I think we should just be patient and just wait and see what happens.
Now let me throw this out there, Queen, and then Ray. I'm gonna ask Chris and Ray. After this, Queen, is it possible that these actions by these two and a few other situations could be let's say quiet distraction, that it's not random that these distractions are coming about even now? Did you hear me?
Situation to post via street hip hop.
You're going.
I just don't understand.
You're in and out. You're
Why?
going in and out.
Huh?
You're going in and out. I think you're talking. It's not hearing you.
Well, I'm gonna just try to talk. I'm gonna hope that y'all can hear me. Basically,
Okay.
Again, that information was released via out in the media pertaining to this, pertaining to red masks and all this other crazy stuff that's going on. Doesn't that actually more than likely throw the police off?
That is a good point.
Doesn't that throw the police off, number one? And then number two, couldn't that possibly be a criminal offense?
That is the highest grade of a felony when it has to do with murder investigations. Yes. You might as well have been part of the murder. And what they'll do is they'll knock it down levels once you admit what actually was happening. So if you were part of the cover up and if you help them get a conviction, they'll knock it down, but that's still felonies. And they'll hit you with multiple felonies with that angle because you were helping a fugitive and trying to evade apprehension. So they look at the resources that they lost, and then they take you and say, well, you helped us lose these resources. And those costs will even add into the delegation of the felony. So yes, that's a major part of it.
So as far as having falsified information on the internet, what happens to the source that released that information?
Well, see, the thing is, they looked. Oh, hold on. They looked at the fact that here's the thing: they uploaded a dead body. Number one, having done that in that way, that subjugated them to being in question in the first place. And I already told you investigators were suspended and then fired off of this situation. So that's where the plot deepens. So it would sort of be like they're fugitives themselves that evaded being in that situation when they uploaded a dead body. Now, one of the guys is on the witness list. He is. And that's partly why I left him alone, because he's on the witness list. So he's part of the case. See, the thing is, I've never mentioned this angle, but they didn't get away scot-free. If this guy alludes to the fact that they were part of this fake plan in any way, shape, or form, that would bring them in on the wrong side, and he could potentially get off because he cooperated with the police up front. So that, in a sense, if he was part of that cover-up, it would be snitching to the terms because he was part of it, taking the picture. He said it was his picture, but the same thing is it went up through other people's social media. But that's the thing. He can easily implicate him. And even if they do evade, worse awaits, because understand, this is a murder. This is a superstar. These are suspects that have been accused of it. If it's not the suspects angle looking for the people who put it up on the internet, it's definitely going to be the mastermind. You think the mastermind is going to let that slip? You think he's going to let that slide? And it all depends how close they're closing in on the truth. Remember, audio expert, video expert, forensic expert. He asked for the statements today. They aren't playing. Whoever's really here is really here. And best believe they already have the uploading, who uploaded that video and everything. See, that's the thing. They got rid of the shady investigators. Now you got the real dogs on the case. And I looked up the profile. These guys aren't playing. They aren't playing. And I don't see no one getting in their pockets. They're not playing. They brought them in for a reason. Listen, when they bring people in like this, there are a lot of people who are sitting 25 to life because of their investigative techniques. They don't call them experts to be funny. They're experts for real. And they're not play. So the same way you see me speak about the case is the same way they're going to fold through the details. And it's going to bring them back to a point of how it hit the internet. It is. And that's the problem. That's why I said the best thing would be people getting out the country. There's no way around something like this, especially if you're receiving threats behind the scenes. So this is a situation where you got the good guys and the bad guys after you. You don't get a break. And if there was someone wrapped up in any of the parties that Zabella spoke on when I was questioning her, I already knew about it. Listen, I freestyled every question, but I asked her because I already knew. I memorized over 300 questions. Who does? I'm telling you, if I can do that, what they're going to do to these guys is going to be so vicious. And it's just, you better hope the good guys catch up to you. If the bad guys catch up to you and they know that you're the last line that can subjugate them to being found, which will be the case because you're the origin of how it hit the net, they ain't going to be playing. And they ain't taking no chances. If you think of a mastermind, think of every mastermind. Has a mastermind ever let someone who's the last line to tell exactly what happened stay around? To tell exactly what happened, how you uploaded it, what date you uploaded, what time you uploaded it, who was around when you uploaded it, who was all around afterwards, where you went after there, who was on live doing. They know too much. So if I'm a mastermind and I need you to go in order for me to be good, I wouldn't be on here discussing, wondering what's happening. I'd be moving, shaking, popping, making moves, making calls like, where they at? What are they doing? It would be action, man. You get me? It's different. It's a different game. You see, this is a different level. This was a $10 million man at least. How much money was lost? Whose pockets did it hurt? You're talking about you are part of a man that was worth over $30 million right now. Gone because of someone's selfishness. That's not a game. That's not play. And unless you have that money to reimburse someone or the worth, the talent, anything, you're a problem. You don't have the talent to back up what he's worth. Why do you think I'm speaking about it so serious? Because you don't understand how serious this is. $30 million. If you found that right now, how well off would you be? Okay, now incorporate this man leading his family being worth that much and you harming this man that's worth $30 million. Who do you think's playing with you? I should say. Anybody that plays with 30 million? Okay. So it's not a game. And I think, I'm not saying they're young. I'm saying their minds too young to comprehend how bad they messed up doing that. Because if I can presume, if quick action 911 could have saved his life, you got a problem on your hands because you videotaped them dying without making the actions to help him live. We got a vendetta. We got a $30 million vendetta. Now tell me what big boss with a $30 million vendetta played around with anyone? 30 million? Can you fathom that much in front of you? If you had $1 million in front of you, some people would be slobbering all over themselves. But you played with the life of a $30 million man. And you don't have the talent to back it up. You don't have the album sales to back it up. You don't have the marketing techniques to back it up. Everyone around you, this is the leader of the group. Everyone around you can barely make it to 1 million. And you messed up this $30 million man. How many people do you really think's mad? Let me ask that. How many people you think's playing around? Let me ask that. It's none. No one. There's oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. See, here's my thing. Let me just add this, and then I'm gonna let that be. Here's where, so I can break it down for you. It's not dawning on people what they mess with because the case is not over. Okay, and that's what they're looking at. Like, oh, the case is still going. They're gonna convict these guys. But look how they're moving. Okay, let's talk to adults. Look how they're moving. Audio expert, forensic expert, video expert. I want to hear statements. They aren't submitting, and they are getting state grants. Name another time in history in any state where this was allowed and something funny wasn't found. And that's dealing with who's really the suspect. See, people can't see between the lines, and that's why we're different over here. That's why I'm different. That's why I move different. They can't see it. That's why it's serious. So the distractions, the little things, that's nothing. You were involved in harming a $30 million man's life. Most of your biggest artists won't be worth $5 million. With his legacy in total, he's worth nearly $30 million. Are you stupid? Who has $30 million to pull out their butt? It's not a game at all. And what's, you don't want to know what's saving them? What's saving them right now? Literally, and this is the best way I can explain it. What's saving them right now is the fact a case is happening. Because I can guarantee you, if there was no case going on right now, if there was nothing happening, you don't think there would be people who's hungry to figure out what exactly happened out here quietly, tiptoeing around? And who are they going to start with? Who put it up first? That's, if I have nowhere to go, I know where to find them. It's like rocket science. See, everybody looks at the movies and stuff that they watch, but they don't think about it. Think. That's where I'd start. If they sent me to go take care of it, that's where I'm starting. Where else you think I'm starting? I'm gonna start with the friends. Yeah, I may start over there and visit over there if I see something funny, but I'm starting with who put the story up, with who glorified it, with who benefited the most off the situation. Because I'm out my $5 million cut of $30 million. That's not play money. That's not play money. That's someone's worth, a legacy. Most people's legacies won't be worth nearly that much. Merchandise, a lot of other things. I'm being modest with that number. And there are people's careers that want to melt to $1 million. That's why it all sounded good till the game got underway. You're not seeing anything yet. They haven't seen nothing yet. And whoever's on the backside knows who potentially is involved. They're very quiet. They're very quiet. And it's for a reason. Because the smart thing is, I'm going to be quiet. The reason I'm going to be quiet is because there's a case happening. But I'm best believe, even if it takes 10 years from now, I'm going to be patient to get my $5 million. Who's going to make $5 million in 10 years? Who knows it? Who's going to have that in 5 years? The people think of money as a moment. That's good. But there's some people who are feeding their families and their kids off of that type of money. And you played with it to the point you don't even care. But that's the best way to have someone when you're really out to get revenge off of something. I'm talking that it may be a little too real to understand, but we're talking about organization, money, legacy, worth, value, accomplishment, future revenue, future accomplishments. Whose talent could promise to make that money back? No one's. You're not entrepreneurs. You don't have major investments in any business firm or anything to equate to that amount. You don't grow your mind. You're just there doing what you love. This one man doing what he loved happened to amount to a worth of tens of millions. Most people in the best of their career, the heyday of their career, will never be worth that. I'm just kicking knowledge so you get it, because I don't think, see, everyone thinks because they know who's around someone that they know where the danger lies and who they're in jeopardy to. You don't have a clue. This is foreign money. This is other stuff. His fan base in the UK is larger than you can believe. Germany.
Be honest.
Wait, hold on. Germany, Russia. You got people messing around there making news over there. Most of you will never even grow there. You'll go there, you get 100 fans. He had millions. That's millions. You played with millions. They don't get it. It's not just money here. It's money there.
I will say shout out to the UK fans. Like they really go hard for X. Like a couple of his UK fans holla at me, and they're super supportive. Also in Australia, New Zealand, like he has fans all over the place. People in Germany hit me up, and they're happy that we have, we still talk about him, it's therapeutic for them, because they don't have a lot of resources regarding what's happening to this situation. So it's about giving a peace of mind to people, or at least being able to cope with what we're dealing with.
I fully agree with you. Oh, real quick. Hey, Chris, what are your thoughts on that? Like about the worth?
Think about it. Put yourself in an investor's shoes. You know what I mean? You just gave 10 mil to this young guy that you're hoping to pull out 3 to 4 times that much. So yeah, his worth is worth. He was worth 3 to 4, maybe even 5 times that at this point. And I'd be pissed to F off. Pissed to F off. And you better believe they just like you said, they bagged and they know they got what they got to get already. They're under the radar.
Yeah, they are. And listen, if I'm a man that gave that and this happened, I'm sitting in my house like I probably got 10 mil to sit on. So you're never going to see me. But best believe I'm behind the scenes throwing stuff, breaking stuff. In the moment the storm settles, that's when I leave the nest. That's what y'all don't get. That's when I pop up, and you won't see me. You won't know me. It's nothing gang related, nothing in the streets. Oh, we're all this. It's deeper than that.
Right.
I'm going to pull up, and I'm going to be the one paying you, and I'm going to be the one snatching you too. It's a different type of game that you played with when you got to the millions, and you did that to this young man. Why do you think these suspects are fighting for their life like this? They're already feeling it because they're in a lawful setting being harassed. So they get it. That's why they're like experts, statements. But they're not dumb either. because they know if this gets tagged on them and they go down, that cost is on them. They're saying, I'm not taking this alone. It is you guys with me. If you're with this, you guys are coming with me. They're putting that cost on all of us. That's how the game's played. When you invest in the artist, yes.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to before we pass that topic. If everybody remembers and seen it as this movie way back, Don't Be a Menace While Drinking South Central. It was a man that got him, right?
Yeah.
Right. Right. I've seen it. I've seen the movie before.
Yeah, those are the types. That's the type that Czarr's talking about.
Yeah, it's different.
I've seen that movie before. Oh my god, that far. It's like, I've seen that movie in 2017.
So, like Czarr said, you guys, what do you prefer? Who do you prefer to get got by? The bad ones or the good ones?
Yeah.
And then even the good ones are still bad.
Yeah. Yes, they are. They ain't playing.
Like, obviously, I heard something about Bo Wright said, it was something about X's cousin or something like that.
Yes, listen, no, wait, I gotta stop you there because that's hearsay again. Let me explain that. Yes, that would be as Queen corrected and said the last live stream, not the last one, the one before, Soldier Dro. Yes, that is correct. But let me say this. Even him having something to do with it, you think if they figured they're gonna listen, the people that know exactly who did it. That's what that type of money is. Even us asking questions, they know who did it. They're not asking any questions. They're waiting. That's what you don't get. They know who did it. They know. That's what that type of money does. That's what they don't get. So when you're doing stuff like that and thinking you're laying low, they'll let you succeed to the sky. True. Then when it's time for you to make that money, they're going to slowly pull up beside you like, listen, we know you were involved in something. That 30 mil you made go away from us, that's on you. So if you got that 5 million deal, it's negative 25 million now. That's when you get to the millions.
If I can interject really quick, regarding, sure, everybody's focused on the aspect of finance and everything. So I'm gonna just say a few things. Number one, I always felt like when it came down to Czarr, he was probably projecting making hundreds of millions of dollars.
I tried to be modest. You got it. Go ahead.
Projected. I'm just telling you what I'm projecting. I don't know if it's 100% true or not, but that's how I'm feeling. Now, another thing that I also wondered was, did he have an insurance policy? Because most artists do.
I'm thinking he did because he had a will, if I stand corrected. He had a will. He set up a will, by the way.
Wait, hold on. Hey, are you there, Queen? Queen?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Go ahead, Jordan. Hey, let her talk. We're all muted. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I mean, that would be more than likely plausible. I mean, obviously, yes, the will is out there, but it was just referring to, wondering if there was like some sort of insurance policy or something, because most artists of that high stature, I mean, Rihanna has her friggin' legs insured, just in case, like for $1 million. It's kind of the same thing with Tina Turner. She has her legs insured too. I'm sure a lot of celebrities do different things like that. So I was just kind of curious if he had that, because that would, not to make the situation any better, because losing an artist is not, just losing anyone for that matter, not just a high profile artist, just losing a human being is very traumatizing to every situation possible. So it's about wondering if that would actually rectify some of the loss of I guess income that you were mentioning earlier, Czarr.
I mean, here's my thing. You're absolutely right. I told you I was trying to be modest for the audience. This should shock and scare a lot of people out of their shoes if you were allegedly involved. If I told you he was worth 100 to a man was raking in the dough, independent. Do you know how many labels wanted him? So this happens. His worth is something. Someone involved that has nothing to do with anything. Unless you can accrue yourself in the future being worth hundreds of millions. Do you know what level of talent you have? We wouldn't even be discussing talent because you'd be an unnatural talent. There's only few artists we've seen achieve that money. A Jay-Z, a Nas. And Nas was so smart, he did it off business. Some of you aren't built that way mentally because you don't grow your minds well. But that's what I'm trying to help the vision for them to see that this was the biggest mistake ever. If you're involved, I pray some of you aren't, because you're not playing with the normal people around you. The first gangsters, the first real gangsters, what did they wear? Did they wear fitteds and suit and tie, right? So imagine someone in that position with that mentality and has $1 billion. You're going to play with his money? You're going to play with his money. You could be the strongest thug in the world. When you played with his money, now you're in a new game. You're in a new game. It's not, and you don't know it. And you can't learn it because it's big money. Unless your bank account has that amount in it, you don't know it. That's what I'm trying to say. They don't get it. Honestly, that's why I put some level of advice in what I do, because I get that you don't see it. Listen, when Czarr first looked at it, the first time I'm going to say this, the first thing I ever said, oh my goodness, I hope they know whose money they played with. First thing, I hope they know whose money they played with. And I hope they're good with that person and that they're upfront, because chances are whoever you thought you saw, there's someone behind them with bigger money. They're the ones who decide, not the person you saw that handed it to you. It's someone behind them deciding whether it was worth it or not. It's a very calculated game, and it doesn't run like the streets. That's one thing you need to learn. How many rappers told you that? Y'all don't listen. See, I think y'all turn music on, you're like, yeah. Y'all don't listen. That's the problem. You hear it, but you don't listen. So you don't get it. So you don't see it. And that's why your marketing isn't up to par for the music part. And you're out there doing shows, doing appearances. That's why your figures don't make sense. X was one of the rarest ones who he figured it out. That's why independent he was doing it. That's why when the deals came, he could turn them down and then accept one that he liked. You don't get it. They still don't. I still don't think y'all watching, y'all still don't get it. But that's okay. I'm hoping you'll learn as time goes on. You know, I want to thank everybody for rocking with me. Queen and Chris. Queen, first come on and tell people where they can find you. And I want my viewers and people, hit Queen up, get your consultation fees into her, and get your reading. She is the truth. Czarr's telling you, she's the truth.
Thank you, Czarr. Basically, as I stated before, y'all can hit me up on YouTube and on Twitter, Queen Prodigy. Also, you can hit me up on Instagram at Queen Prodigy 0369. Inbox me. Even if it's just like coaching, y'all want to talk or something, like just let me know. And I can charge for a consultation fee for that as well. Regardless, like I respond. I try to give my attention to as much people as possible, but sometimes, forgive me, I'm still human. I still need to sleep and rest. So just be patient and I'll get back to you. I promise you I will. So don't get frustrated. Just be patient because a lot of people inbox me and I appreciate everybody that hits me up and that's been supporting me and Czarr and everyone else through this difficult time right now.
Chris.
Hey, so you can follow me on IG at Chris_A. That's AY the number 3. And on Twitter, same thing, Chris_A. AY3. Hit me up, talk, chat. You know how we do it. We always here.
Facts. Jordan.
All right, guys, you can hit me up at Bad Vibes Forever Nation. Guys, hit me up at Bad Vibes Forever Nation.
Okay. Go follow all these people. And guys, go over, pay the fee that Queen has for you, and interact with her. It will be something you won't regret. It's entertaining. It's good. It enlightened me. It's worth the time. She's worth it. Hit her up. Ask her what the consultation fee is. And listen, she's did readings for legit people, period. Aside from Czarr, not even me. Exclude me. She's done it for legit people. So check her out, for real. Follow everybody else. You know what mine is. You can check it in the description below if you don't. And you know how I rock. CommenterNation, greatest nation since United Nations. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.